right, biggest loser, Rob Doster. Who was the biggest loser on the bubble in that conversation today?
I'm going to let Goodman handle the Arkansas portion of this conversation because it seems like he has been waiting for this moment for his entire life. So I'll go with Nebraska. Yeah, I'm going to go with Nebraska, right? They were already in a situation where they had a resume that was trending towards, maybe too many losses. They're now 17-12 in the season. They're 7-11 in the Big Ten, which is really not all that impressive. I know it doesn't matter, but whatever. I'm mentioning it anyway. Their wins, Illinois, at Oregon, at Creighton, UCLA, don't look nearly as impressive as they did probably a month ago. Outside of like a 10-day stretch in the middle of January, they have been absolutely abhorrent since the start of the turn of the new year. A 5-game losing streak. They're now on a 3-game losing streak here. And the big part of it, the worst part of it, was today they lost their 3rd straight game. It was a game at home to Minnesota, I believe the lowest rated team in the Big Ten, a quad 3 loss that just is going to drag down their resume. We had them as a 10 seed. I have no idea how in the world our guys, and we got the best bracketologists here, so I will trust that they are making the correct decision, but I'm going to need Rocco Miller to give me a call and let me know how the hell, well, on what planet are we living that this Nebraska team was a 10 seed heading into today?
Have you looked at the bubble? Hey, Rob, have you looked at the bubble lately?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time looking at the bubble. I literally have every single bubble team listed right now. Their net, their quad 1 wins, their quad 2 wins, their losses.
There's never a conversation. We never say, man, the bubble is so great.
No, we say the same thing. Talking about the 68th best team in college basketball. What are you expecting? Do you want 67 UConns from last year? Do you think we're going to have 45 at-large bids that look as good as Auburn every single season, Jeff? What are we talking about? It's the bubble.
I want to go back to 64. Send me back. Turn back the clock to 64.
I don't want to because you see this fielding the 68 thing right here. You see this? Field the 68.
Oh, yeah. All right. Forget
those
it.
Things, those things cost money,
Keep
Jeff.
it at 68.
They cost money.
Keep it at 68.
Our merch is not free.
All right.
Let's go. Let's do the college football playoff. Let's go to 12. That's what we should do.
12.
I like that. It's always the 12 teams that are top 12 at Kim Pom at January the 14th anyway. The last 20 years. So I don't think it really hurt anybody. Anyway, quite a day, obviously, on the bubble. And then real quick for you, Jeff Goodman, I know that you had something to get off your chest. You had a piece about the great job that John Calipari is doing this year at Arkansas. Fantastic. You have to admit.
I mean, somebody said it was one of the greatest jobs that he's done in his entire career. It was comical, but it was said. It was said. They lost after the person said that this morning.
Who said
Seth Greenberg. Seth Greenberg said it. After he said hours later.
Who does he work for? He has his own
doesn't matter.
Does he have a PR firm or something?
Anyway,
does he have a PR
hours
firm?
Hours after it was said, they went out there to Columbia, South Carolina, and they played an SEC team that had won 1 conference game all season, and they laid the biggest egg you could lay in Columbia, and they got mollywopped. And I'm not even sure that's the right word for this outcome because they got absolutely pummeled in this game. They were never in it. They couldn't make a shot. They were like 0 for their first, 17 from 3. They couldn't stop Colin Murray-Bortles, who went for 35 and dominated inside against, Big Z and Adu and whoever else they threw at him. I mean, this is one of the most embarrassing games in John Calipari's career. Obviously he's had some embarrassing ones, St. Peter's and Oakland in the NCAA tournament. But regular season games, this was up there because they had started to play better. There's a ton on the line. They had finally kind of moved their way into the right side of the bubble, and they go out and do this. And I know they don't have a Duthero, and I know Boogie Flan's out. But here's what I'll say to this. They had 9 scholarship players at the beginning of the year. This is on John Calipari and his staff. You don't go into a season with 9 scholarship players. That is just pure stupidity because there's going to be injuries. Something can happen. So it's on you. that you're down to 7 guys and you haven't prepared for it.
And here's the worst part about it.
That was a great Coach of the Year speech from Jeff Goodman. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was.
Listen,
here's the hardest part about it is now they have to go on the road to Vanderbilt, and then they have to play Mississippi State at home, and those are 2 losable games. And if you lose them both, you're 17-14, and you are not going to the NCAA tournament. Like this was the one that you had to get because this was the one that was easy. And I say easy because it's a top 75 KenPom team on the road in league play, and John Calipari notoriously has trouble winning at South Carolina. I feel like every year we look up and he's losing a game there. But yeah, this was the one that you had to get if you wanted to get to the tournament. Yeah, so you had to get this one.
Yeah, I know, Rob, you wanted to roll through the bubble results here really quickly.
I'll roll through. I got them all listed here. North Carolina picked up a win today. They knocked off Miami at home, which is not a great win, but they've now won 5 in a row, and it's not a loss that they could take. One quad one win, so they have to beat Duke to be able to get in. Baylor, who had fallen all the way into the playing game for us on fielding the 68, picked up a win at home over Oklahoma State, which, again, they just could not afford to lose. Boise State was sneakily one of the biggest winners of the day. They were coming off of 2 huge wins at home. They go on the road to Fresno State in a game where Fresno State threw a zone at them. Boise State spent 38 minutes where they forgot how to play basketball and then had a late 8-0 run to be able to put that thing away and avoid what would have been a catastrophic loss. Boise State, I think, is on the right side of the bubble. For Bid Mountain West, Jeff, shout out to Colorado State, too. They beat Utah State by 27 today. They are sneaking their way into the conversation. So is Villanova, who got a win at home against Butler, and Wake Forest beat Notre Dame at home. So both of those teams are still alive in theory, but they got some work they have to get done. In terms of losers, Texas is done. They're out. It looks like that team has kind of given up. They're 16-13 overall. They are not going to be dancing, barring some kind of magical turnaround or Trey Johnson scoring 40 every game from here on out. SMU loses to Stanford. It's their third quad 3 loss of the season. They don't have a good win to their name. Cincinnati lost at Houston. Cincinnati was on the wrong side of the bubble, and they probably needed to win this game to put themselves in a position to have a chance. So that bubble, I would say, is officially burst. Oklahoma is the interesting one. And Dagan, if you can give us 30 seconds each here to just kind of weigh in on it. Oklahoma's now 17-11 on the 18-11 on the season, 17-12 on the season. 17-12 on the season. They got a quad 3 loss at home to LSU, but they've beaten Arizona, Michigan, Louisville on neutral courts. They have 5 quad 1 wins, and their top 3 wins are up there among the better top 3 wins outside of like the protected seeds. So 4-12 in the SEC. If they win 2 more games at the end of the season in conference play, they get Missouri at home and at Texas. 30 seconds each. Is Oklahoma worthy of an at-large bid at 6-12 in the SEC, John?
Yeah, they're playing better. They do have wins from 1999 that feel like from 1999 at least, but they are good wins. They're starting to play a little bit better. I'm not going to hold today against them too much. I'll say they're in, begrudgingly.
Yeah, I agree.
Get them out of my tournament. Get them out.
If they win both,
they've win both, a lot of good teams.
Yeah, if they get to 6-12, I think they're in. If they split these two, they're going to need to do something in the SEC tournament. They're going to need to win at least 1, maybe 2. So I think they need 2 more wins in any which way.